Hey y'all, Zach McDonald, your real estate agent here with Real Property Associates. And today I'm going to share with you a question that I think every home buyer should ask. And this question is, how long does it take to close? The average closing time is somewhere in that 30 to 45 day ballpark. And the biggest amount of time on the back end is spent with the loan process. So out of all the things that we do that happen after you get under contract with a seller, the biggest thing that happens then is just getting your loan approved. And there's other due diligence that typically goes on during that time. So you'll have an inspection, you'll have an appraisal, you're going to order home insurance, you're going to have a title report and review that, make sure there's no issues with the title, and then you're going to sign your documents, you're going to pay the remaining funds that you owe at closing. The bank's going to also bring the remaining funds to the table, and then we're going to do what's called funding on that day and recording on the day of closing. So all of that happens during that 30 to 45 day period, but the most time is actually spent on that home loan and specifically getting the appraisal as well. That takes some time too. So one thing to note here is if you're working with a local lender and you've gone through the process up front of getting either pre-approved or even pre-underwritten, which is even better, typically that closing time frame can be shortened to 21 to 30 days and even quicker in some instances. Now, if you're a cash buyer, that closing timeline can be shortened even more. You might see 1 to 2 weeks. Really, all that needs to happen then is escrow, getting all of the ducks in a row and getting the docs all ready to sign. So the biggest thing there is, the biggest thing that adds time is the financing. So if you remove that piece and you have just cash, it makes the closing process quicker. Now, of course, not all sellers want to close super quick, so the time frames are always negotiable. But if you are working with a local lender and you're in the Seattle area specifically, typically we're seeing 21 to 30 days is our sweet spot for the closing timeline.